Hi everyone, so I'm still here on holiday, still in Wales, and I thought as it's a bit of a rainy, rubbish day, I would sit down and film a Q&A for you because I cannot even remember the last time I did one of these. So I tweeted and put on Instagram as well and asked you some questions, and I actually have so many to go through, especially you guys on Instagram. You're really on it with the questions, so this could be a little bit of a long-winded, rambly one, so let's just talk about things. Let's start with Instagram first because I think there'll be some good ones on here. This one is quite appropriate to my situation right now. Do you like the rain? I actually do really like the rain as much as I complain about it. I'm kind of more of a wintry, autumn, rainy day person. I love it when you're snuggled up on a Sunday, when it's rainy and cloudy outside, you can just put Netflix on for the whole day and not feel particularly guilty about it. What places do you really want to travel to? I've always wanted to go to kind of the Scandinavian countries, so Norway, Sweden, Denmark, places like that. I just find them really interesting and I love the architecture and the whole culture that they have there. I also would like to go back to the US, and obviously New York is a place that I think everybody wants to visit once in their life, so I'd really love to go there. And also on the West Coast, I'd really like to go to San Francisco. I think it looks like a really cool city, and Seattle. So I've always wanted to go there for some reason. I think it's because it's a cloudy, rainy place, and as we've just established, I'm quite into that sort of weather. Tea or a coffee person? Used to be really into tea, but now all about coffee. It's really bad actually. I need a coffee every day to keep me going. I'm trying to wean myself off, and I do like a good green tea. That's kind of quite a healthy thing, but coffee I think is going to have to win. And moving on from that, what do you normally get at Starbucks or Costa? I usually get an iced soya sugar-free vanilla latte, which is a bit of a mouthful to say and I usually end up getting it wrong. What is your favourite memory from this summer? Definitely going to LA, that was amazing, and just being in a complete different country. But the summer isn't over yet. Hopefully I can still make a few more memories. I've got some really fun things coming up as well. I'm going to be going to Greece in September. I'm also going to be at V-Fest at the end of the month, which I'm really looking forward to, so if any of you are going, let me know. Any tips on being confident and loving yourself? I get this type of question quite a lot and I always kind of skip past it because I don't know if I'm really the best person to answer it. I'm generally quite an insecure person. I've never been particularly confident and I'm not really outgoing. I'm quite an introverted person, so I like my kind of alone time and my quiet space. But I think as you grow old, and this is definitely one of those cliches that everybody says, but it's really true, it really does take time to sort of figure out who you are and what your personality's like and what you love about yourself. I think it's so important though in kind of gaining confidence and just feeling more comfortable in yourself that you really find things that you do love about yourself. So whether it's something on the outside or the inside or something that you can do, something that you're really good at, I think it's just important to tell yourself one thing that you really love about yourself and just grow from there and see where it goes, and you'll end up feeling so much more comfortable and confident because of that. I think it's something that everyone goes through, and everyone goes through it in a different way as well, so it's interesting to see different people's perspectives about it. Who's your favourite actor, actress? 3 words: Leonardo DiCaprio. What was your first job before YouTube? My first job was actually at a department store. I worked on the jewellery counter. I used to stand behind those little glass cabinets and pretty much not talk to anyone all day because it was such a quiet place to work, and I definitely didn't enjoy it. When did you first start getting into makeup? It was actually when I had my second job that I started really getting into makeup because I worked on a makeup counter, so I was kind of thrown in at the deep end, spending my whole day surrounded by beauty products and putting makeup on people and just generally living and breathing makeup definitely got me into it. Instagram or Twitter? Instagram all the way. I love pretty photos. How old were you when you started your YouTube channel? I think it was about 4 years ago. I was living in my first flat, so I must have been 18, which is kind of old, I'd say, by today's standards. You guys are really starting quite young, it's amazing. What's your favourite movie? Oh, I always struggle with this question because I love going to the cinema, I love films. There's so many films that I absolutely adore. Most of them tend to have Leonardo DiCaprio in there because he's pretty amazing. I love Inception, The Great Gatsby, any Baz Luhrmann film I actually absolutely love. Any Christopher Nolan film I generally love. I really like Batman, and I love a good romantic comedy as well. About Time is one of my favourites, and then you've got the kind of Love Actuallys, all sorts of films like that. Pretty Woman as well is pretty high up there. What were your career aspirations before YouTube? I find this really interesting because a lot of the time most people tend to just fall into YouTube and they don't intend it to happen, so there's always something that they've wanted to do in the past. For me, it was to be a maths teacher, believe it or not. I really liked maths at school. I did it in school and college. I did further maths as well, which was definitely a lot of maths for one person. So I wanted to be a maths teacher or do something in the mathematical field, which is definitely the most far removed thing from what I'm doing right now. What was the best and worst investment you made in your wardrobe? The best, I think, would have to be a leather jacket, because I just get so much wear out of a good leather jacket. I think it's just an essential piece to have in your wardrobe. And the worst, probably, as much as I love it, probably a blue sequin jacket that I bought from French Connection. I think I've had it for a couple of years now, and I've yet to even take the tags off, and it was definitely an expensive one. I love it, I think it's beautiful, but I just never ever wear it. How would you describe your style in 3 words? Probably comfortable, stripes, black. I get this question all the time. I actually answered it in a previous Q&A, but I will talk about it now because a lot of you have asked it. And it's, did you go to university or did you want to go to university? I didn't actually go to university, and I never really had the drive or the motivation to go. I didn't really want to. I think at university there's 2 very different kinds of people. There's the ones that have just gone because they feel like they have to, that it's the thing to do, and they're just really getting into the sort of uni life. And the people that have a kind of set career plan, that know exactly which courses they need to take and what they need to do to get into the job that they want. I never really fell into either of those categories. I didn't have a particular career path that I wanted to go down, and I wasn't really that interested in the whole uni life and uni experience. It's probably something that would be quite valuable, I think, in anybody's life, just to kind of move away from home and do that whole thing. But I moved out quite young anyway, so I kind of went through that living on your own experience all by myself. I think there's a lot of potential now for people that haven't been to uni to do so well and have amazing careers and amazing jobs. And I think experience is such an important thing. I went straight into full-time employment after college and worked for a really, really long time before I started YouTube. And I think having that experience and working and not being in full-time education for the first half of my 20s really did me quite a lot of good. So I'm pretty happy with where I am right now, but I think it's so dependent on who you are, what you want to do, and just yourself really. So it's a very personal situation. What advice would you give to someone who doesn't know what to do with their life? I would say go out and do everything, so just try as many different things as you can. So get a job in something that you've never thought of doing before, maybe try a few different fields, and then you'll probably end up finding something that you do like. What's the best budget foundation you have? Definitely Bourjois Healthy Mix. I've talked about it so many times. I use it all the time in my tutorials. I know Bourjois isn't available in quite a few countries, which is really, really annoying and such a pain, because it's probably the best budget foundation out there. Apart from that, I'd say Rimmel's Perfect Match Foundation is a really good one. I really like that, the one with the blue lid. I also really like the L'Oreal 24-Hour Matte Foundation. I think that's a really, really good one. What is your go-to dessert? Chocolate fudge brownie with ice cream every day, all day. What's your favourite season fashion-wise? I prefer the fashion trends in autumn. I'm so excited for it. I am so excited for autumn. It's definitely my favourite. I love layers, I love wrapping up, big scarves, knit jumpers, just my favourite season. One fashion trend you can't wait to go. Crop tops. I can't seem to not find a crop top nowadays. Every single top that they have in any shop seems to be a crop top, which I just find really frustrating and annoying, because you can't seem to get a top that goes below your belly button these days. If you could create one beauty product, what would it be? I bet you can all guess this already, but I would love to bring out a red lipstick, or a kind of range of red lipsticks, bold lipsticks. I just love them, and I think I'd be really good at it. I think I can make some pretty good shades, so maybe one day you may see some lipsticks from me. That'll be very, very far in the future though, if it ever does happen. What is your signature perfume or scent? I never really wear the same perfume enough to have a signature scent, but I think probably the one that I wear, and it really reminds me of many years in the past and wearing it for a really long time, would be the Kiehl's Vanilla and Cedarwood perfume. I absolutely love that. What is your favourite foundation at the moment? Bare Minerals Complexion Rescue. Not technically a foundation, but I just love it. It's the only base that I've really been using recently. What has been your biggest beauty splurge? I'd probably say very recently in Sephora I bought a lot of things. Yeah. You'll see soon. If you had to give up one, which would it be? Makeup or skincare? Absolutely makeup. As much as that would pain me and I would be really, really sad inside, I just could not give up skincare. I think if you have a good skincare routine, you don't even really need a lot of makeup, so I could never ever give that up. Do you drive? No, I don't. A lot of people tell me off for not driving, because I am now 23 years old and I've never really had a proper driving lesson, and I can't drive, so eventually that is something that I will do, but I live so close at the moment to public transport and a train station that I don't really need to drive anywhere, so eventually I will learn, but for now I'm happy to be in the passenger seat of a car rather than driving it. If you were only to have one red lipstick and one neutral eyeshadow, which would they be? That's a tough question. NARS Red Square lipstick and probably MAC Cork eyeshadow. Which camera do you use and how do you edit your photos? This is such a highly asked question, highly requested question. I get asked this all the time. I always keep everything listed in the description bar of all my videos, so the things I'm filming on, what I'm using, whether it's a vlogging video or just a normal sit down video, my regular camera, and the one I'm filming on right now is the Canon 600D, and that's what I always use for my videos unless I'm vlogging, and then I use either the Canon EOS M or my new camera, which is the Canon G7X. I also use my big camera for blog photos. All my photos from there are taken on this, usually with a 40mm lens, which is also what I'm filming on now. And for Instagram, I just use my iPhone and I edit them with Afterlight and then the SEO cam. I kind of do all the tweaking of the lights and the colours and things like that in Afterlight. It's really good for that, and then I put a filter on it in the SEO cam. How did you decide on a blog name? What were your rejected ones? Oh wow, okay, let's think. I don't know how I came up with Covet, but I just sort of liked the way it sounded and it kind of made sense. I covet thee, and it just sort of all started from there. But I think I had a few before. Definitely, I think just Covet was going to be the blog name, and then there was also something about roses. I think I wanted to be called Vintage and Rose or something like that. I think I've got an old blog header somewhere where I was trying out lots of different names that I called myself that. And I did think about doing something with my name in it, which kind of makes things a little bit more personal, but I somehow settled for I covet thee, and it was kind of probably not the best decision because I think still some people struggle to pronounce it, but I covet thee, if you're wondering, is how you say it. Can you film more videos with Darren? Yes, absolutely. I always love filming with Darren. It always turns out to be hilarious. So guys, let him know that you want to see him in videos. Leave a comment below if you'd like him to be in more videos. He's actually just started up his own blog, which I find absolutely adorable. It's actually quite good. I'll write it down here and I'll leave a link below if you want to go and check it out. It's actually called Guy Writes, and he's just recently started it, so it's only got a few posts, but definitely go and give him a follow if you want to see more from Darren, and let him know as well that you want him to do more videos with me because I'm constantly trying to persuade him. Okay, that is Instagram done. That took a lot longer than I thought it would. Let's move on to some questions on Twitter. This video is probably going to be running so long by now. What's the most embarrassing makeup moment you've ever had? Probably something involving makeup being somewhere on my face that it shouldn't be. I think I've come out of the cinema quite a few times with mascara running down my cheeks because I've been bawling my eyes out at something. Best drugstore concealer for dark circles. The one I'm actually trying out at the moment isn't too bad. It's the Rimmel Match Perfection concealer. I think it's really good. Could you ever imagine moving to another country? I honestly couldn't, and I know it's probably some people's dreams to move away and live abroad for a really long time, but I just love England so much. I'm just such an English girl at heart. Would you ever do a meetup in London? Yes, I'm definitely going to be doing a meetup in London either sometime this year or definitely next year as well. There's actually something kind of exciting that could be happening. It's definitely not confirmed yet and it's still very much in the workings, but Susie and I could be coming to a town near you quite soon. So if you'd like to see that happen, please let me know because we'd be really interested to see where you all come from, which cities have a lot of our subscribers in, so let me know where you're from and if you'd like us to visit you one day. So I think I'm going to leave it there. It's getting pretty dark outside now to the point where I can't actually see myself properly in the viewfinder, but I hope I managed to answer all your questions for you. If there was something that I didn't answer that you really wanted to know, leave it in the comments and I will try my best to get to it. So I hope you enjoy getting to know me a little bit better. It's definitely been fun just sitting here and chatting at the camera for an hour or so. Thanks for watching and I will see you all soon. Bye!